I open my Winn-Dixie Rewards app and boom, deals for Derek. Like BOGOs are my go-tos, so I double up.
What they do, what they do. Let me see if my microphone works. Hold up, I think I got the audio on and the output on. Change this thing to property real quick. Choose the first one is select myself, bro. Alright, let me see if we do it like this. Damn, the microphone sound crazy. Let me see if it's straight now. Mic check, mic check. Let me see what the mic doing. What they do, what they do. Let me see what it sound like. I think that bitch straight. Alright, bet. So, what we gonna do today? What they do? Let me see. I can't even see the chat like that. See, I don't like. I'm trying to get this. This is my first day running my stream like this. I'm trying to get it all set, squared up. I can't see the chat right now. Hold up. Where the chat go? Let me move this shit out the way. Cause this shit ain't even much connected. Let me go ahead and get it out the way. Put the X on that, cause I can't even see the chat. Go on and put the X on that too, fam. There go the chat. I'm like, damn, what the hell? What they do? What they do? My boy T Lim in the building. What they do? My dog Ogun, the OG. What they do? I seen Sean P was in here. We got Ramon pull up on me. What's up? What they do? My dog Black Ice. What they do, fam? What they do? Yeah, we officially into the whole nother phase. We're in a whole nother phase at this point. Let me make sure the levels is straight, right? Make sure the levels is Gucci. I think the levels is Gucci. All right, so what I got on the agenda for today? So I'm looking at I got some articles and I got some low cap gems I wanna get into today. I got some low cap gems I want to get into on the Solana market. I'm sorry, in the Solana ecosystem. I want to talk about some shit today. Break a little bit of the shit down. And like I said, I want to give some gems today. Drop a couple of products maybe that be under the radar, and some projects that's on the radar. Some mainstream that I think is gonna go ahead and take off. Cause after I read that little article about Solana flipping Ethereum, I never looked at Solana as having being able to flip Ethereum. I always looked at Solana as potentially catching Binance. Because I looked at Binance and CZ as like the third, you know what I'm saying? But they Chinese, so ain't no telling. You feel me? Ain't no telling on that. So I'm gonna talk about that. Also, I wanna touch on real quick. That's Epstein, Iran Contra shit real quick. I got a video queued up for this Epstein Iran Contra shit, and I'm gonna talk about this brain rot fatigue that I'm having. That's caused me to just purge all channels that I used to watch, except my dog Psycho and Q Butter, Sean P, and Nat. Them the only channels that made it through the purge. I can't talk to another Aboriginal again. I can't do it. I had to go on and just shut it down. Shut it down early. I was gonna already shut it down in 2026, but I was gonna gradually shut it down. We just go ahead and pull the plug early. Fuck all that. It's too much money out here, man. It's too much going on. Way too much going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my good peoples in them on the right path. I'm trying to drop this broken knowledge, and I'm trying to break down this crypto shit. I also got a video from the Woted Coin Bureau to go ahead. My overseas he gonna break down crypto for beginners too for a nigga as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, nigga ain't really on too much, man. Nigga on a whole nother wave. Nigga on a whole nother wavelength. You know what I'm saying? We leave shit where it's at. Where we at? Okay. All right. Shout out to Breaking Points. Shout out to Drop Site, Ryan Grimm, uh, Cristobal, the whole team out there. They really raw. I fuck with Breaking Points. Breaking Points probably overall probably got the best show hands down. I give it to them. I don't even think it's close, honestly. Breaking Points. For a minute, Midas Touch was giving them a run. I like the iHip network though. Them two ladies, they be doing their thing, them old school. They be popping their little shit. I like them. But yeah, this nigga right here, he be on point. I fuck with Ryan Grimm.
Recently at Dropsite News, when we put up G3 here, we put out a story, Murtaza Hussein and myself, the headline, Epstein, Israel, and the CIA, How the Iran-Contra Planes Landed at Les Wexner's Base. We covered it previously here, but it looks to answer the question of how did Jeffrey Epstein get his start? and where did he make his money, and what are his links to the intel community. So after that piece came out, Noah Coolwin, who's one of the co-founders, or the co-hosts of the Blowback podcast, reached out and he was like, we've got this new episode, this new series on Angola that actually talks a bunch about this, and it's truly fascinating. I gotta look at the premium. It's out now, so I highly recommend that people listen to it. But it tells the story of Angola and Jeffrey Epstein's involvement in Africa is one of the kind of most underdiscussed parts of it. It's also the thing that got him famous, because in 2002 he took Clinton to Africa. Mm-hmm. It's also the thing that shows that he is a person who has always had his finger on the pulse of where money and power kind of flows in our global society. Now, Emily was going to be on here today, and actually, I think she listened to the whole Blowback series to get ready for it. Sagar's subbed in for him.
Yes.
So Noah and I are going to educate Sagar on what's going on here. So Noah, thanks for joining us. You would need 2 or 3 hours to do justice to this conversation. Luckily, your podcast series does run at least that long. But we'll do what we can today. So thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it, and all the kind words.
And so let's throw up. Let's throw up the map here, because you have an interesting part where you say, like, the CIA began its briefings of the White House just with a map.
Well, it was so this was CIA Director William Colby. Mm-hmm. Who is addressing the NSC. And the account of this meeting comes from an ex-CIA officer named John Stockwell.
Right, and so
Colby is explaining what's going down in 1975 in Southern Africa by telling the National Security Council, at that time the most important national security policy-making body, and he says, this is a map of Africa, and this is Angola. And these are the good guys. These are the bad guys. And then these guys we don't know too much about. But that is how the highest levels of Washington initially were apprised of what Angola was and what it meant at the beginning of what became a secret CIA covert action, or at least near the start, if not the very beginning.
And I think that's an appropriate way to kind of start a segment about Angola for an American audience, but it's a truly embarrassing way for the United States to start its own kind of involvement in the region. And so in that map, people saw South Africa, which at the time was apartheid South Africa, and which at the time occupied Namibia, which was just to its northwest there. Namibia had been the victim of Germany's first genocide in the early 20th century, and after that, South Africa ended up occupying it, and it's fending off an insurgency to throw South Africa out of there. North of that, you've got Angola. North of that, importantly, you have what was then Zaire, which is the Democratic Republic of Congo, which, and when Emily and I interviewed the guy who wrote the recent biography of Patrice Lumumba. His assassination plays a critical role here as well, because the CIA's man, Mobutu, coming into Zaire plays a huge role in the history, as you talk about here, because it allows for the CIA and the insurgents that it's backing to have a base of operations to kind of constantly mess with Angola. The reason that this is interesting today, I think 2 reasons. One, Cuba and Venezuela, because I think there's actually a shadow there, but also Jeffrey Epstein. So let's roll the Jeffrey Epstein portion of, I think this is episode 8 or so. This is season 6, and then we'll unpack this. So let's roll that clip.
One particular irony of the scandal was that when Eugene Hassenfuss had been shot down over Nicaragua, he had been flying a plane for a CIA front company called Southern Air Transport. As it turned out, the MPLA government in Luanda, which was fighting the CIA, was also contracting with Southern Air Transport, having very few options for air cargo in Angolan skies.
Apparently unaware of the company's history, reports the LA Times,
The Soviet and Cuban-backed Angolan government in 1984 paid Southern Air Transport to run a busy airlift that kept 2 Lockheed L-100 cargo planes flying nearly around the clock, according to Diamond Industry sources. The Angola contract accounted for about 65% of Southern Air Transport's income, end quote.
Luanda, after learning more about Southern Air, promptly canceled its dealings with the airline. But while Angola's business with Southern Air was done, one of the CIA's most notorious proprietaries, or front companies, lived on.
A decade later, in the mid-1990s, Southern Air Transport relocated to Columbus, Ohio. There, it fell into the control of Les Wexner, CEO of the parent company of Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch. Wexner used the airline to bring merchandise from Hong Kong to the States. And the person who reportedly arranged the sale and relocation of Southern Air Transport? Jeffrey Epstein, Les Wexner's financial advisor, suspected spy, reported blackmailer, and convicted pedophile.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming.
So Jeffrey Epstein brings this CIA-backed airline, after it's done with its Iran-Contra business, to Columbus, Ohio to work for Les Wexner. And then interesting, and you can put up G3B, we had reported this in our piece, that after it was done in Columbus, and right as the kind of CIA IG report is coming out and exposing that it actually was doing the things that we now understand that it was doing, they declare bankruptcy, but before that they sell half their planes to a UAE-based airline which does business in Angola, and it begins they begin again trafficking blood diamonds. And so in the middle of all this, the entire time, is Jeffrey Epstein. And so at one point he had said, that how did you make your money? He told a journalist, guns, drugs, and diamonds. So before we get into all of the Epstein part, which is utterly fascinating, and let's talk a little bit about the Cuban element of this, because
Sure.
So the MPLA, which is the kind of socialist government.
So shout out to Ryan Grimm and them for even covering. People don't give a damn about Epstein these days. These niggas weird. Um, Shout out to Ryan Grimm and them for covering it. Let me see. Is it big? Is that shit even big enough? Niggas can't even see my screen like that for real. Let me see it that big. What they do, Solar Guard salute, what they do. Let me see if let me make my screen bigger real quick. 'Cause I ain't even on camera, so I could really take this down. I'll leave it there. But I'm gonna just let me go over it. Then I'm gonna just make it bigger for y'all. Pause. All right, bet. Down. All right, so 1965 to 1975, Angola's independence was won through an armed struggle by three main liberation movements: the FNLA, the MPLA, and the UNITA, with the MLPA being led by Agostinho Neto, ultimately taking power at independence. Now, the MPLA was the organic, right? The CIA was backing the rival. Look at that. The U.S. covertly supported FNLA and UNITA, showing division. So what they said, how was they tying all this together? They said, Jelaine said that Jelaine said Epstein had some African warlords under his wing or whatever. African warlords. Who is he talking about? Is he talking about the people that the CIA backed? Come on, man. Fast forward to today. What are we talking about when niggas say, why is Africa so divided, or why is there so much turmoil, or this and that? I guarantee you we can show you Central Intelligence agencies at work. Epstein's ties to the CIA, to the Mossad is undeniable. This nigga is tied to the Iran Contra. That's what this whole video was about. Tie him to the Iran Contra.
So this man is tied to the Iran-Contra, and he's tied to Angola and CIA efforts. So
How is niggas just painting the narrative um, that he's strictly fucking Mossad is bogus? That's a throw off. But I ain't even going all the way there. I'm just letting niggas know we ain't going for it. That's a throw off. So when a motherfucker talking about Pan-Africanism is dead, this is what these people are fighting every day. They fighting Pan-Africans every day. So a nigga online talking about Pan-Africanism is not gonna move the needle. I'm just here to let you know it's not gonna move the needle. No matter how much you niggas wanna be it, it's not gonna move the needle. So, as you heard Ryan suggest, it was a socialist movement. They're gonna paint it communist because the C word is a bad word. Pay attention to the politics in the word games niggas play. The C word is a bad word, right? It's propaganda, just like the other C word. It's propaganda. So they playing with a nigga head like, hey man, we gonna smear you with this communist term, and then we're gonna have everybody who don't even know what communism is be upset with you. If you pay attention, they doing the same thing with Pan-Africanism. They smearing the term without knowing what it is. Come on, man. These niggas is OSS manual bandits, man. These niggas is free agents, man. We ain't wasting time with them no more. We moving ahead. We put niggas up on game with this money on tip, but we letting it be known, bro. The CIA is working covertly and overtly to fuck up relationships in Africa and in America with black folks. So that's what this shit be about, divisiveness. I ain't known that. I told niggas this shit like I've been saying this shit for how many months now? So niggas gonna have to catch up. I heard niggas was upset cause I said I wasn't fucking with nothing no more. Well shit, niggas get over it. I don't know what to tell you, nigga. Go live about it. I don't know what to tell you. So Ben, what it say? The U.S. involvement aimed to counter the Soviet-backed MPLA, turning the independence struggles into major Cold War proxy conflict, as revealed by the CIA FOA. That means the Freedom of Information Act documents. I got one right over here, right? Because I've already read through this. I'm already knowing. So I already know the plane and all of that type shit. They say the nigga got that he came back and it was Les Wexner and shit. I know Ford was the one who said go ahead and put the money on down there, fuck Angola up. Nigga, we got all of this. Harry Kissinger already approved $300,000 in secret subsidies from Jonas. Come on, man. We can keep going. Like, bro, we really be in the weeds with this shit. So when a nigga be telling you some stupid shit online, I don't have to sit back and listen to it, man. It's time to pivot off that. It's time to pivot off that. What I look like listening to a nigga who I know don't know what he talking about. That's bad for my health. So let me open this up. Boom. Let me get a little bit more structure to this. Boom. So we can see the whole thing. What does that say? They gave 300. They gave the nigga 300 grand to the head of the Uniter, and the president's personally approved that action, according to the administration officials. So can't nobody say the CIA didn't pay them. We got it in the Freedom of Information Act. We got the shit, nigga. Let's get back on this shit, man, with Ryan Grimm now.
After the Portuguese leave, they're consolidating. They're consolidating control. The South Africans feel like having a leftist anywhere in southern Africa is a threat to apartheid, and so they start to invade. They are blocked, shockingly, by Cuba. So what was Cuba's current situation, and what advantage was there at all to Cuba intervening militarily in Angola?
There was none.
Which is wild.
Cuba, I mean, in a longer sense, there was, because Fidel Castro and the Cuban leadership had for many years outlined a policy by which they understood that part of the goal of, supporting revolutionaries and guerrillas in other in foreign countries, was that it was a way of combating, capitalist forces more generally, a way of hemming imperial ambitions that they viewed as part of a global system, and that there was, in that broader sense, it was a way of fighting and applying pressure against its own enemies, namely the United States, through acts of solidarity. But that's a pretty abstract thing. The reality was that Cuba in 1975 was faced with a moral dilemma. The Angolan nationalists who had, competed amongst themselves, various factions, to be the ones who would take power after the Portuguese left in late 75, the left-wing Marxist faction, the MPLA, was in control of the capital city and was poised to be able to actually assume the responsibility of government. And they were the favored sons, or at least they were the favored inheritors of that authority by the departing Portuguese, who were now part of a recently installed left wing junta. And the Angolans, the remaining two Angolan factions, one was the FNLA, which was very strongly CIA supported, very much aligned with Mobutu in Zaire, and led by a guy named Holden Roberto. And then you have Jonas Savimbi, who headed a more unknown faction at the time called UNITA, but we'll hear more about him later. And the Cubans were, they were told explicitly in mid 75, and they understood because they were in contact with the MPLA leadership, that essentially the CIA and the South Africans had begun arming and mobilizing against the MPLA. There were already border incursions. There had been huge fighting across the country, and neighboring South Africa had a huge interest in not wanting to see what they viewed as a aggressive communist government coming to power. In part because, as you said earlier, South Africa occupied Namibia, and through its occupation of Namibia would be exposed to Namibian rebels who would be able to take sanctuary in southern Angola. And so the South African interest, rears its head at this time. So all these threats are rearing their heads against what in November 75 is the new government, the new nation of Angola, led by the left-wing MPLA. And the South Africans immediately invade from the south. They launch two different divisions, and the FNLA from the north and the central area, they attack. And the FNLA is wiped out because they're pretty incompetent and threadbare, and the CIA operation to fund them is revealed as it's a fiasco. But UNITA and South Africa are this really dramatic threat that the Cubans, in an act of sort of immediate daring do, send an emergency detachment of armed forces to support the Angolans, who then are able to successfully repel the South African advance. And although the Cuban hand is shown and the U.S. condemns Cuba in, world fora like the UN for, expanding Soviet, and then Soviet arms, of course, that are fueling all this combat, or at least fueling the MPLA's ability to fight this battle. And the U.S. is claiming that, oh, wow, well, we have, there's this, so world Soviet communism is on the march again. A CIA operation is revealed that we had been secretly arming these people, and this is at the height of the post-Vietnam Church Committee scrutiny of the national security state.
Again, right? I agree. Yeah. They're saying white South Africans, the apartheid regime. They were working hand in step with the CIA to arm rebels. Right? Let's to the terminology. Arm rebels to destabilize an independent movement for sovereignty that they consider to be a left-wing movement. Listen to what this is. Listen to this, bro. It's a left-wing movement in Africa. in Angola, they backed rebels in opposition of, right? This is the CIA direct Freedom of Information Act, Freedom of Information Act documents. This is not debatable, right? So when niggas want to talk about who pushes whose agenda, anyone who's out here sowing mis or disinformation and fucking up relationships between black people, whether it be black Americans or black Americans and black Caribbeans or black Caribbeans and Africans or Africans and Africans, niggas who is in the way of that, they directly working for the white man, for the free, unquestionably. And the proof is in the pudding. When the nigga pull them documents up, every second they get, they going against a left-wing socialist nigga. So when nigga ask me what am I tell a nigga all the time, nigga, I'm left-wing, a market socialist. I fashion myself a democratic socialist, a market socialist. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in that vein, but I'm on the left. Nigga, and I'm in the wing. Nigga, I'm not on the corporate side. Right? I let it be known all the time. So niggas need to catch up, man. Niggas is behind or niggas got their head in the sand cause they scared. Yeah, they definitely haven't. They work for a different group of people. Clearly. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it be niggas be talking about like, oh, why come Africans don't just let all black Americans back into the country if they know slavery exists? It's because nigga, you got turncoats. Niggas gotta go through a vetting process. You can't just be having niggas who niggas working for the CIA, niggas is paying and doing all this. All this history in Africa that been going on for niggas been fighting for their independence. Niggas know what's going on. Niggas know what's going on. So like I said, ain't nobody gonna tell me Pan-Africanism is dead based upon a conversation they had online. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me it's dead based off of conversations that they done had online. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So what I'm about to get into now, I think I'm cool. I think I'm gonna pause that. Y'all, if y'all interested in that video, y'all go sub up to Breaking Points. The next video I'm gonna get into, I'm not gonna get into it right this second. I'm about to talk for a little minute. He back there being goofy. The next, I'm gonna probably play this cryptocurrency explained 101 in a second. But let me go to this. Let me read this article real quick because this was interesting, right? I was in a Twitter space the other day, and I got a couple Twitter spaces I'm about to play probably next time I go live. I was in a Twitter space the other day, and I'm listening to some conspiracy. Nigga was talking about the government, and this was like before the article came out. This nigga said the government only went down and captured Maduro because Venezuela has the fourth biggest supply of Bitcoin in the world. They've been secretly buying Bitcoin underneath the radar while they've been having sanctions. So they've been running up the bag. This is what the nigga said in the Twitter spaces, right? And this is why I fought with the Twitter spaces and why I said like I realized early on who I was around. These be real people, like people in the know, in the happiness, but they be behind these fake ass profiles and shit like that for anonymity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to a real trad fight nigga, like a Wall Street nigga. He know a nigga who know a nigga, and they telling the nigga some shit. And he in there disseminating the information because he the lowest on the totem pole, and he really just pushing pencils at the firm and shit. That's how this shit go. Right? That be the chain of cut, especially when a nigga be in that journalism shit. That's how the chain go. Yeah, Ogun, but they don't know about that. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about the left wing. They don't know nothing about being socialist. They don't know nothing about the Panthers. They don't know nothing about that. Right. But so yeah, so like I was saying, so Venezuela, the dude said they said that Venezuela got the biggest, he said they had the fourth biggest, I think that's what he said. And so he was like, they went down there, they captured Maduro because they want to capture the Bitcoin and add it to the U.S. reserve. They gonna sell the Bitcoin off. We gonna beat the debt. He was going crazy with the pseudo shit. He was like, that nigga said they gonna beat the debt. Look, they gonna crash the Bitcoin market by selling on the market, right? And then everything will go back to the moon because the U.S. economy was gonna be back on its feet and all this goofy shit. So I'm like, yeah, these ever Trumpers mixed with the Bitcoin maximalists is sick. He like, yeah, and after this is all this is gonna cause a motherfucking Bitcoin when it do come back. It's gonna be fueled with institutional money and the trading money, and it's gonna be up 250. I said, yo, these niggas sick. But I sat right there and listened though for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? Cause he did provide a nigga with some expertise as far as I didn't know nothing about Maduro's little secret Bitcoin reserve. So then I went and looking it up. And I came back with something that was dropped January 6th. Right? So I might be giving Jit too much credit because I think I was in Twitter on January 6th. So Jit might have he might have seen the article and then start talking. Type shit. But look, so it says speculation grows surrounding a rumored $60 billion Bitcoin reserve. Oh, well, 60 billion ain't gonna pay off the debt. So Cub was already off. 60 billion ain't paying off nobody's debt. First of all, let's start there. But it is a lot of Bitcoin though. That's a fuck ton of Bitcoin, my boy. That's over 600,000 Bitcoin. So they would be one of the biggest, and that leads into my centralization conversation, right? I was even having it with Super when he was like, "It's decentralized. It's not a commodity." I'm like, bro, Bitcoin is one of the most centralized cryptocurrencies on the blockchain. If anybody know, they know. Michael Saylor has like a fifth of the token supply. This Venezuela, Maduro had apparently a fifth of the token supply. Matter of fact, let me read it. Let me read this shit. Let me read this shit. So it say Bitcoin's growing value and increased use in international trade have thrust into the limelight amidst the latest geographical conflict after the United States captured and extradited Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. Major news outlets like CNBC report a shadow reserve of tens of billions of Bitcoin owned by the Venezuelan regime, which would make Venezuela the fourth largest holder of Bitcoin, only trailing Strategy, which is Michael Saylor's company, like I just said, Michael Saylor, Strategy, BlackRock's IBIT ETF. So BlackRock is one of the biggest holders of Bitcoin, and Satoshi Nakamoto, who they say has not moved his Bitcoin since he created it. So niggas telling you that shit is decentralized, not Bitcoin, right? Not Bitcoin. And Bitcoin in the white paper, it never even used the words blockchain. It just said chain of blocks. So really, the real birth of the blockchain was not Bitcoin. Niggas are trying to put it on Bitcoin, but I'm getting into the weeds. But just know I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. Bitcoin is cool. It's all that. Niggas try to say it's gonna be the gold of the internet. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if that's what BlackRock tries to do, we'll see. But what they say right here, they say there is also growing speculation in the United States seized the Bitcoin, right? Seized the Bitcoin. It's a what do you say? There's also growing speculation United States seized the Bitcoin and that the seized assets could become part of the United States strategic reserve. There are multiple reports that the government itself, Venezuela, has been looking to avoid sanctions by doing sales of oil in Tether, that's USDT. So they was doing oil sales in USDT on the blockchain, which then they moved it into Bitcoin. So even the promise that perhaps the U.S. government might seize the assets, hold on to it, that's a bull case for the Bitcoin, right? So they say even if crypto, even if the the U.S. did seize that shit, but the U.S. is holding it, so the U.S. can one day capitalize on a $200,000 Bitcoin and cash out, and get itself out of debt. Now that I could see that, right? If now the U.S. got to fuck around and got secretly holding, you know what I'm saying, a third of the Bitcoin supply, and then that shit get up to 280K. I can see them crashing it like that and trying to get up out the paint. But it's got to be, you got to be crashing trillions. You can't be taking off hundreds of billions. That ain't gonna do nothing, right? The national debt niggas gonna have to take off like, you got to hit a nigga for like 10 trillion, bro, to even make a dent in this shit. So what they say right here, the estimated total of 600,000 BTC is sourced from a combination of reports from the likes of chain analysis, Reuters, and the Wilson Center. But it should be noted that there is a significant room for error in the estimates. Right? So bottom line, they own that. Right? They ran down on Maduro and got him for the Bitcoin. They took a nigga Bitcoin out his pockets. That's crazy. Fan base, I'm gonna tap in. What platform is fan base on? Right now I'm locked in on Ethereum platforms, but I want to get into this one. This one right here is interesting. This news article making me bullish. This is making me very bullish. All right. I thought I was signed. Damn, why they telling me to sign in? If I get hit with an ad, y'all, just know I'm not signing in. Cause I ain't putting my government on live. Wyoming launches first U.S. state issued stablecoin. I'm gonna look into fan base. Let me look into it right now on my phone real quick. So let me look at. Let me tap. Let me put it in the Google machine. Fan base. Fan base. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. WFNB. WFNB. I'm gonna tap in with it. Isaac Hayes the third. I'm gonna tap in with it. Is it a regular platform or it's a Web3 platform? It looked like it could potentially be Web3. I'm saying, yeah, future of social media. We'll see. I'm gonna tap in on that. But what it say right here? Wyoming launches first U.S. state issued stablecoin. Now this is huge. Like I said, excuse me, this is making me bullish. This is very bullish. So Wyoming launches the first stablecoin FRNT, which is a dollar-backed token, and it's managed by Franklin Templeton. Hey, if you don't know who that is, that's big. Franklin Templeton. And marks a rare move by state government into digital money. What's up, baby? You good? You need a block? You say no? The state of Wyoming on Wednesday launched its U.S. dollar-backed stablecoin FRNT, becoming the first U.S. state to issue its own digital token. Do you hear me? Wyoming is also a place where a lot of cryptos are started at. You know how niggas start their companies. Niggas like to start their companies in Delaware. Well, a lot of crypto companies they start them in Wyoming. because of how the state law is, and that made sense that the first stablecoin would be in Wyoming. So that's fire. So a U.S. dollar backed stablecoin, which I'm cool with stablecoins. I'm not cool with central bank currencies, right? So let's stick with stablecoins. Stablecoins is where I draw the line. So that's where I draw the line between stablecoins and central bank digital currency. So FRNT, look at this though. It's available on Solana. So that's key, right? Look at this. That's key. If Wyoming has a US dollar backed stablecoin and it's on Solana, that means all of the state of Wyoming's uh crypto transactions are going to be on the Solana blockchain. That's going to bring a lot of liquidity. That's going to bring a lot of market cap to Solana in these different places. So Solana is going to go up just on the strength of, imagine if Wyoming got $85 billion on the books to back FRNT or whatever. 85 billion. Now that's being deposited into the Solana market cap. Imagine if it's more. Imagine how many more. And we talking about it being launched on Solana. How convenient. Again, I'm finna be giving my Solano gems today. But the reason why I'm giving my Solano gems is because Solano got a lot of hype. Solano's had a lot of hype since the last bull cycle. And it's a lot of community building. It's a lot of shit going on. As you can clearly see, I showed real world assets the other day and it was on Solano. The state of Wyoming is launching a digitally backed stable coin for the US dollar. Slap on Solano, right? Slap on Solano. Solano ain't number like $139 right now. You better get you some before it touches $200. I would say anything below $200 is a good entry point for Solano because I foresee Solano being at least in the pocket of where Binance is right now. And Binance, they ranging in between 750 and 1,000. And I could see Solana being the same thing when this shit is when this shit gets cracked. I could see a $700 Solano, 750 Solano. So a nigga got in at 200, he don't even trip. Telling you. So FRNT issued by the Wyoming Stable Token Commission and backed by reserves held in trust by the state. Ooh, Nadia like that. Ooh, Nadia like all my sovereign citizens. Where y'all at? I know they like that. FRNT is issued by the Wyoming Stable Token Commission and backed by the reserve held in trust by the state. Those reserves are invested only in US dollars and short-term US Treasury securities. So they're going to use US Treasury securities and US dollars to back this stable token. Pay attention. This ain't the only one. I'm gonna show you another one that's very interesting about what they're doing with this stable token. It's giving this other one I'm gonna mention soon is giving Terra Luna. It might be a revamped Terra Luna. I might have to get all the way into the weeds on that. I might have to have a whole separate episode. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But the reserve management is being handled by investment giant Franklin Templeton, which manages about 1.6 trillion in assets. 1.6 trillion, guys, while custody is provided by its affiliate Fiduciary Trust Company International. Gotta have some layers for the suits, I see. The launch reflects growing interest from public institutions in using blockchain technology. This is the key right here. This launch reflects growing interest from public institutions in using blockchain technology within existing legal and financial systems. That's the key that niggas got to wrap their head around, right? It's like, oh, what is the crypto going to be used for? It's going to be used for regular stuff that we using every day right now. They're gonna replace. This is a blockchain technology is what's replacing it, right? This is Web 3.0, right? So the Web 3.0 is what everything is being built on, the blockchain. It also signals stablecoins expanding beyond private companies and into government issuance. And this was important because back in 2022, the conversation was, is the Fed now going to drop, and is that going to be the central bank digital currency? And is they going to make everybody do their transactions through the central bank digital currency, which in turn everybody could be monitored and all this type of stuff? No, they're not doing no central bank digital currency. As we can see, Wyoming took the first steps in using a stable coin. Not niggas. The niggas don't have to get fear mongered into the bad shit. They're using a stable coin, something that's backed by a dollar, something that's backed by a U.S. Treasury, something that's maybe potentially backed by gold, depending on who launching this stable coin. This is the realm in which we're getting into. This is why it's very important to tap in on real world shit, not always bullshit. Right? So currently the stablecoin sector has a market cap of more than $309 billion, up from $208 billion in January. So over a full year, we've gained $100 billion in market cap based strictly on stable coins. The more and more these stable coins come into the market, the more and more you're going to understand financial institutions are going in that direction. Stable coins is a key indicator. ETFs, key indicator. You know what I'm saying? Legislation being passed, key indicator. So by introducing the nation's first state-issued stablecoin, we are demonstrating how thoughtful, transparent regulations and new technologies can be harnessed to expand access, lower costs, and strengthen public trust. All this scamming the niggas be talking about, guess what the blockchain does? Every transaction is immutable. That's why we can track and see if Maduro and them really got that 60 billion. Because all transactions are immutable. So you just got to know enough information and you can track it down. At the very least, you'll know where the wallet is. You might not know who owned the wallet, but you could track the wallet down. So if a nigga can track the wallet down, oh, a nigga running a scam based on government funds, the government running on them stable coins on Solana. So if you running a scheme through the government, we're gonna be able to walk down that Solana wallet back to your motherfucking Bitcoin. We're gonna be able to do it. So that's where the transparency, where niggas be fear mongering on the bad part. That's where it works in good part in unison, right? Because the government should be held to that standard as far as stable coins is concerned. But you also got shit called ZK, right? ZK permissionless contracts in which the anonymity is key. I don't want to get into the weeds, but yeah, I mean, it is ways for niggas to have transactions that's transactions, but not if they're using stable coins, because all the stable coins gotta follow some type of stability. They gotta follow some type of regulatory framework. So by announcing blah blah blah, just did that. Critics raised concern about privacy and expanded government involvement, while supporters said state backing could help speed adoption by placing stablecoins under clear legal oversight. Facts. The scary part is whether DC and the Fed take this as a green light to roll out their own fully controlled coin. See, that's the fearmonger. That's the nightmare scenario, a coin you can't spend without permission. Nobody's gonna back that. So nobody's pushing for that, right? So we're gonna stay out that. I'm gonna come here real quick. Do I wanna go here? How digital asset treasurers went mainstream in 2025. So I can save that for a second. I can save that one. Let me get into some. Matter of fact, let me play. Look at these niggas here. Bitcoin joins gold and silver as geopolitical safe haven. These niggas here sick. I can't go for it. I can't go for it. Let me see. Let me go ahead and get this coin. Damn, they can't even speak. Let me get this coin bureau off. Go get me some water and raid the pantry real quick.
AI can replace
you, your background, and you can make
any style of content you want,
even cartoons and animation.
You can do crazy.
There are over 10 million cryptocurrencies and counting. And this can be overwhelming, especially if you're new to crypto and you're seeing coins and tokens rallying left, right, and center and wondering which ones to buy. Well, that's exactly why we created the Coin Bureau, to educate people about crypto so that they can understand what's going on and make informed decisions based on objective, unbiased information. So, whether you're new to crypto or a hardened veteran, today's video will help you understand what crypto is, how it works, and where you can find those 100x returns you keep hearing about. My name is Guy. Stay tuned. Okay, let's start with what crypto is, or rather, what cryptocurrencies are. Contrary to what you may have heard, most cryptocurrencies are not currencies like US dollars or euros. Most cryptocurrencies are more similar to assets like stocks, hence why most investors now refer to cryptocurrencies as digital assets. But what exactly are these digital assets? What do you get when you buy a cryptocurrency? Well, believe it or not, but it's the same thing you get when you buy a stock. Allow me to explain. Once upon a time, shares in a company were traded using physical notes. Each of these physical notes had a unique serial number. Obviously, these shares would come from the company that issued them, and this company would keep track of who had which share, and it would do this based on the unique serial number, as well as the personal information of the person who purchased the shares. Note that I'm keeping things simple here. Now, in the modern day, most shares are traded digitally. In practical terms, this means that the physical shares are no longer being passed around between people. Instead, it's just the unique serial number being digitally assigned to different owners, with the company keeping track of who owns which share. Now, as with modern-day shares, when you buy a cryptocurrency, what you're basically buying is the unique serial number without the physical share. There are a few key differences, though. The first is that there's no company that controls the issuance of cryptos. Their issuance is instead predetermined by computer code. The second difference is that there's no company which keeps track of who holds which cryptos. This is done by a decentralized network of computers which are incentivized by fees and newly issued cryptos to ensure that these ownership records are correct. These records are stored on a blockchain, which is essentially a database shared by the computers connected to the network, kind of like a shared hard drive. The third difference is that you do not need to provide personal information to use a cryptocurrency blockchain. In theory, anyone with an internet connection can purchase a crypto and hold it in their personal wallet, which is effectively like a stock trading account number without any personal details. In practice, though, most people purchase their cryptos through exchanges, which do collect personal details. More on that later, though. And speaking of which, if you don't have an exchange account, then we've got a treat for you. If you scan this QR code right here, or look down in the description of this video, you'll be taken to the Coin Bureau deals page. Over there, we have exchange sign-up bonuses and trading fee discounts from some of the best exchanges in crypto. These are only available for a limited time and are exclusively for the viewers of this channel. So be sure to check them out ASAP in the link below or this QR code. Okay, now the fourth difference is the most important, and that's that the supply of a cryptocurrency can't be manipulated, nor can cryptos be confiscated if you're holding them in your personal wallet, that is. That's because the supply is programmatic and the blockchain that tracks its ownership can't be changed. What this means is that cryptos are the first category of digital assets that you can truly own and cannot be confiscated by any third party. By contrast, other digital assets like modern-day shares and even the digital money in your bank account technically do not belong to you and can be seized. Look it up if you don't believe me. So then, to recap, cryptos are digital assets like stocks, which are also digital these days. Like stocks, cryptos are unique serial numbers that can be traded between people. The difference is that the issuance of cryptos is programmatic and their ownership is tracked by shared databases that can't be changed. As I mentioned in the introduction, there are over 10 million cryptos and counting. In truth, the number of digital assets is probably well into the hundreds of millions, if not more. The catch is that there are different categories and not all are created equal. So, at the highest level, there are two distinct categories: coins and tokens. Now, coins are the native digital assets of the blockchain they're on. Coins are used to pay for fees on their respective blockchains and are issued as rewards to the computers maintaining these blockchains. Crypto coins are difficult and expensive to build, which is why there are only a few dozen of them. As you might have guessed, the largest coin of all is BTC. BTC is a coin because it's used to pay for fees on the Bitcoin blockchain and is issued as a reward to the computers maintaining that blockchain. And if you want to know why this dynamic exists and how it works, watch our video about Bitcoin mining. The link is down below. Now, whereas coins are the native digital assets of the blockchains they're on, tokens are digital assets that exist on top of another blockchain. Whereas coins are used to pay fees and issued as rewards on these blockchains, tokens are often used in the applications that are built on top of a blockchain. One of the largest tokens is Aave, which exists on Ethereum as well as a few other blockchains. Aave is used in the Aave application, which makes it possible for people to lend and borrow crypto peer-to-peer. Now, whereas there are a few crypto coins, there are millions of tokens. That's simply because it's very easy and cheap to launch a token. The result is that most crypto tokens are objectively worthless. The few exceptions are those used in popular applications, like Aave. However, this doesn't mean that worthless tokens won't pump. On the contrary, we've seen many instances where objectively worthless tokens have skyrocketed in value due to pure speculation. The caveat is that tokens which are objectively valuable will perform best over the long term. So, how can you tell which tokens have value and which ones don't? Well, the short answer is to look at the narrative. What is this crypto project claiming to offer, and does it look convincing? The fact of the matter is that most cryptos rally based on speculation around narratives. Over the years, we've found that the crypto projects that experienced the highest returns were the ones that had the strongest narratives and that were the easiest for new investors to understand and invest in. Notably, this is true regardless of whether a crypto is a coin or a token. The narrative is what matters the most. Bitcoin is the perfect example here. Bitcoin's narrative is that its BTC coin is digital gold. This is a narrative that's easy for any investor to understand, whether they're a retail investor or an institution. The result is that BTC has become the largest crypto by market cap. In our view, that's not a coincidence. And by the way, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button to let us know and subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell to get more quality crypto content you'll love. So, to recap, there are two categories of cryptos, coins and tokens. There are a few dozen coins, but millions of tokens. Now, crypto blockchains are practically shared computers. Coins are like the electricity that makes these computers run, and tokens are like the applications on these computers. It's hard to make a computer, but easy to make an application. Most computers are valuable, but most applications are not. Now, as I mentioned in the previous section, the value of a coin or token is primarily determined by the strength of its narrative and the associated speculation, at least at this stage in crypto's evolution. Someday, a crypto's value will depend more on its fundamentals, like its users and revenue. For now, though, narratives are the name of the game, and if we want to be successful in crypto, we must play by those rules. Before we drill down into the narratives, though, we need to work our way down the hierarchy of crypto taxonomy. Again, at the highest level, there are two categories, coins and tokens. At the mid-level, we have crypto niches, like, for instance, DeFi, decentralized finance, competition to the traditional financial system, SocialFi, social finance, competition to existing social media companies, and DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure, competition to existing physical infrastructure like telecom giants. And at the lowest level, we have narratives. So, take Filecoin for instance. Now, Filecoin provides decentralized data storage, which puts it in the deep-in niche. However, the narrative that most investors will use to understand and invest in Filecoin will be something along the lines of a decentralized Google Cloud. And this is where things get really interesting. You see, the crypto market tends to rotate between different niches. Early last year, meme coins were the big niche. Late last year, AI agents became the big niche. The interesting thing is that the cryptos in these niches that performed the best had the strongest narratives. In the case of meme coins, one of the
So he put it better than I've been saying it, but that's exactly what I've been saying, right? He said they run on narratives and they're niche based. So again, I'll tell the niggas that they got the meme coin run. They had the DeFi summer. They had um the play to earn games when everybody was playing video games and they was advertising the metaverse and shit like that. And then the AI wave and the you know what I'm saying, the which there was another wave, the NFT wave, like all these different waves where liquidity is flooding the market, usually wrapped around narratives, because the ones who've been fueling the market have been the traders. So if we the ones fueling the market, we the one pushing the liquidity, then the narrative is gonna be very important, because traders, they trade on emotions, they trade on you know what I'm saying, the charts, but the charts is based on the niggas' emotions. So it's all predicated around narrative, like he say. So once you get a bad rep over this, you dead. It's over with for you. You damn near gotta rebrand every time. Even if you got a good rep, the rebrand, because you're trying to catch that new niche, you're trying to catch that new wavelength. It's a constant um it's a constant flow. You know what I'm saying? Damn near to create it. That's why it's so easy for niggas to come in and grift, because it's the climate is to sway with the wind. Oh, this week we doing the AI project. Oh, the next week we doing the DeFi project. Oh, the DeFi didn't get funding. Okay, we're gonna set up another project to do some funding for here, because niggas just running around trying to get funding to start a project. Right? I see that all the time. So what they do, Copper Draco, I see you in there. What they do. So, as you heard, Karen Bureau, damn, nigga say that shit so country. Coin Bureau, as you know, Coin Bureau just said, um, this is basically a stock. This is a tokenized asset. That's why we go with the term digital asset. We don't even like saying crypto or cryptocurrency or none of that stuff. We like saying digital assets, right? Because with digital assets, now we talking about legitimate things. We talking about legitimate instruments. We talking about commodities. We talking about um, securities. We talking about regular shit. Trad 5 versus DeFi, right? Traditional finance versus decentralized finance, right? And centralized finance versus decentralized finance versus Trad 5, because that's what was really going on. And when I was talking to Dosa the other day, which when she was in my chat, I was telling her, she was acting like capitalism is running the blockchain. No, the capitalists that's in the blockchain, they run their game is based on centralization. So they're gonna have the centralized exchanges that's gonna do numbers like crypto.com, like Kraken, FTX, Gemini, BNB. Those are centralized exchanges that's gonna do good because of the capitalist mindset of being the way it is. That they're gonna run a central exchange, and they're gonna get people to invest in it. They're gonna get people to put their money on it, because people are gonna be comfortable with that mindset, that idea. Then you got the other side of it, the decentralization of it, the left, right? The fact of private ownership, co-op ownership, public ownership, all coexisting. Not just one place where everything is monitored and it all goes back to the top. Like that's they shit. I'm not a centralization type nigga. I'm a decentralized finance type nigga. I'm a decentralization. I'm a autonomous organization type niggas, right? So a nigga like me, I've been peeping the hype around Solana, but not only just the hype, niggas are building on Solana's hella dApps, right? Solana Mobile, they got a fucking phone. You hear me? They got a phone, Solana Mobile. Okay, let me get into the weeds real quick. Let me see what we got. Can I pull it up? Solana Mobile. Man, that bit went crazy. Let's go Solana Mobile. Solana Mobile, nigga. They've been talking about Solana Mobile for a little minute. It's finna drop. Nigga, it's finna drop, nigga. Bam. Let me get this out of the way. The definitive Web3 mobile device on the way. I think niggas, I think in certain countries they got prototypes out. Powered by SKR. They already gonna get it right. For too long, walls have divided the mobile world. Look at this. Look at this. Builders constrained, the user control, value extracted. Look at them boys. Solana Mobile was founded to break down the wall. Look at his avatar. Them boys swift. Gotta stay swift. That bitch sleek. Nice little avatar. Stop playing them folk. On an open mobile ecosystem. Damn, they advertise all the buzzwords. Developers. So what happens is, right? What I mean by communities is, so you see how I say developers, users, blah blah blah. So what happens is niggas who know how to code, they'll get intrigued by the technology and the prospect or the prosperity of starting a brand new company in a brand new niche and getting funding. So a nigga might be working at Best Buy or he might be working at Google. I met somebody, right? A nigga who helped me do my NFT. Shout out to bro. I'm gonna try to have him on my show once I get it going. I know I can get him on there because I was literally the first person to use their technology. So shout out to Share Protocol. I know I can get the founder of Share Protocol or the developer to come over and chop it up and explain the use case and break it down because he's a nigga from, I think he's from Cali, right? And he was in the music industry. The music industry wasn't working for him at the time. The nigga fucked around and went tech. You know what I'm saying? Went and got the job at Google. Started running the bag up. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with bro. He got a nice and he linked me with Dallas Austin them distribution company, and Dallas Austin and them, they do good business. So I think Dallas Austin them shit probably gonna be one of the first music distributors to go on the blockchain. But it's another music distributor I'm about to distribute an EP through that's gonna be Cardano based, right? I'm distributing the ET through. I'm just damn, I'm talking crazy. I'm finna distribute a EP, right? A little 5-song EP. I'm gonna distribute it through um this distributor that works with Web3 as well, and then I'm gonna try to raise some capital, try to get some ad for it, try to shoot some shit up. You feel me? Try to do my thing behind it. Try to get my shit into some shit. Not no songs I'm recording off the phone. I got real music. Like the shit niggas be hearing, I be recording off the phone. But the shit that I got that's on Spotify, that's like the shit I go to the yo and really record. You feel me? The shit that niggas hear that's on YouTube that I don't care about, that's just literally off the phone shit. But if you go to my Spotify, you'll hear a sonic difference immediately. You'll hear that sonically I sound completely different. You can't hear no background noise. You can't hear no the reverb be turned down. Everything be smooth over there. No more popsicles, fam. You gonna have to ask your mom on that. Oh, you said you got Decentraland? See, I used to have my last run. No ice cream sandwich. Ask your mom. Yeah, I had Decentraland and I had Engine Token. Not Indian. I know y'all know y'all elbows. Not Indian Token. Engine. ENJIN. Engine. I had Engine Token and Decentraland Token as my metaverse tokens that I had. And I had the sandbox. You heard of the sandbox? EIE sandbox made me some money. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't sleep on sandbox in this next run, this next phase. Epic Gaming did a plug with them. But what I'm saying is these developers they'll go and try to get some money on these different places, and that builds the ecosystem for a nigga that say he got a community. Go take it to your mom. You think you slick? Go take it to mommy. Don't try to open it yourself. Take it to your mom, fam. So yeah, so like I was saying. Oh, you said your wife only got 2 Solana? So yeah, stay down, get you some more Solana, gang. This is not financial advice, but get you some more Solana. Right? They got Solana Mobile. Did your mommy say yes? Hey baby, did you open this? If you just open that by yourself. Hey baby girl, where you at? He finna get me in trouble. This nigga had an ice cream sandwich. I'm like, I thought you opened.
All right, so yeah, let me get to the gems. So Solano, right? Solano is one of the ones that I feel.
So is my screen all the way? Let me see if is it big enough? Pause. Hey baby girl, let me ask you this question. Let me mute up so you can answer. Did you open that? You just doing it up. All right, so I gotta figure out why it's only pixelating at 240p too when I shut this stream down. And I don't even see my comments should be flooding in the box. I barely see them. They show up periodically. So I gotta adjust that. I'm gonna adjust my I'm gonna get my I'm gonna put my tech hat on and fix my fucking live stream background in a second. But I'm on Coin Market Cap. We looking at so this right here is an interesting concept. This is why I got this. This is why I got my eyes on this. So it's the token is CETES, but it's called Etherfuse. Okay, Etherfuse is a super low cap gem. Only 23 people have it on their watch list right now on Coin Market Cap. Now that doesn't mean only 23 people have it. That's just a simple metric I like to use when I feel like I'm ahead of the curve. If I'm under 100, if I start some shit that's under 100, I'm being careful, but I'm watching that motherfucker. I might even put some money on it because it's going if when it crack and you early, that's when you win. So Etherfuse is a very interesting concept. Now let me show you why it's interesting. So the market cap on it right now is only 2.27 million. So only 2.27 is over there. And it's only the circulating supply is important. It's only 35 million in supply. So that's not even a lot. So if the market cap was to go up, every token is gonna be priced based around the market cap, based around how much the supply is. So if you got a light supply and a large market cap, that makes for a big token. You know what I'm saying? A valuable token. So something like this, let me just show you the simple math on it. So let's say we got 2.27 million as the market cap. Let's say it 10x's, right? It 10x's. So that means this 2.27 turns into what would that be? 22.7 million? Look at me not even being able to do math. Right? And that's a 10x. 22 million on the market cap. Is that a 10x? 2.2 times 10. Let me do that. 2.2 times 10. Cause a nigga like me just hit the J. I'm not even gonna cap. 2.27. Yeah, that's that's 227. All right, bet. Even better. So if she's up at 227 M's, right? Let's just say she makes it 227 M's. $250,000, right? So $250,000 market cap. That's not even a huge rise. That's not even a lot of money. $250,000 is a drop in the bucket. I just showed you that $109 billion went into stable coins alone this year. So a drop in the bucket is 250 million. I just said 100 and something billion. 250 million is nothing. In a down year, in a bear market, to say the least. 100 billion came in during the bear market, right? So 2.27 trillion, gang, let's say that 10x's. Now you looking at 6 cents times 10. Times 10. So imagine a nigga who loading up on this. Like, I'm gonna give you one that a nigga loading up on just on the humbug, right? I'm gonna show you how it work in real time. Cause this right. Well, let me first of all, let me tell you why that's even important. Etherfuse. So Etherfuse, watch this. This concept is very, very interesting to me. So Etherfuse stable bonds are composable, self-custody, and backed by real-world stable bonds. That's interesting. So this is backed by real CETESs. So that the CETS stand for Certificates of the Treasury of the Federation. These are financial instruments denominated in Mexican pesos and are issued by the Mexican government, generally as short-term debt. The profit earned by the holders is equal to the price difference between acquisition and the nominal value upon a maturity. The value of your investment in a CETES stable bond doesn't just sit idle, it grows. The APY adjusts automatically, weekly based on market conditions, ensuring that your investment keeps pace effortlessly. The Mexican stable bond introduced by Etherfuse represents a significant advancement in blockchain assets, combining cryptocurrency's high returns with traditional bond safety. This financial instrument merges short-term rapid liquidity with the stability of government-backed securities. This just shows me as a way for to prop up more of these traditional bonds, and this is a way to get exposure into the market and get capital into the market from regular people who are not maybe all the way hip to the blockchain, but they're interested in things that sound stable, and a stable coin they can get behind is backed by the dollar. Well, a stable bond that's backed by a treasury bill is they can get behind it as well. A government-backed security they can get behind investing in that. That'll make them pro crypto. So all we need is the eyes on the prize. I don't care if you want a stable bond. I don't care if you want a stable back by the dollar. I don't care. Just put your money on the blockchain so we can create that fear of missing out. So some more of this money can get made. That's how the market works. And then once the institutional money come in, it's really gonna be fear of missing out, because the institutional money, they gonna put their money on what's working. So don't be caught in the backfield. Do not get caught in the backfield doing all that dancing. Nigga, hit the hole. Nigga, pause. Do not be dancing in the backfield. Nigga, get north and south. You hear me? I'm finna show you how to get north and south. Let me get to the watch list. How do I get to my watch list when I'm not logged in real quick? Hold up. Is it the diamond? I think it's the no. How do I get to my watch list when I'm not logged in? Oh, I am logged in. I'm tripping. Alright, bet. Alright, so this is my watch list, right? And these are assets that I keep tabs on. I might even be into. Some of them I'm gonna get into when they reach my entry point. You know what I mean? I'm finna give you some right here. So these are my gems, right? This is lucky gems. We'll call this lucky gem a swift gems. Swift gems. I don't even know. I'm gonna figure it out. So how many we got? I think we got 13, 19. We got 19 in total. Okay. I keep tabs on 19 of them. It would be 20 with Ethereum, but I don't have to put Ethereum in the watch list just due to the simple fact that Ethereum is on every single. It's on the. You can trade forex Ethereum. You know what I'm saying, as a CFD. So niggas don't really gotta keep tabs on that. That's everywhere. But these other ones, I gotta keep tabs on them because I gotta go find them every time I'm on the charts. So BNB, Binance. I'm gonna do it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it in a second. But let me speak on immediately. Let me speak on Humor Finance, right? Humor Finance is my favorite. It's one of my it's one of my favorites right now. Humor Finance is something that I'm looking at as a very strategic play. So as you can see, let's go year to date from the last year, right? It started in January, right? Or June, right? Of 25. So just got cracking, right? They launched in the bear market. But you know what got my eyes on this for? Human Finance, right? It's on, first of all, it's on Solana, right? So I got my eye on it right here. The market cap, 72 million. Okay, the market cap, 72 million. The total supply is a little higher, right, at 9.99 billion. The other one I showed you, it was only 350, or it was only 35 million or something like that. So that shit when it catches, when the stable bond catches, it's gonna be far more of a rise if it catches. This right here is far more of a safer catch though. Human Finance right now has only got 72 M's locked up as a market cap. So what is Human Finance though? Why would someone want Human Finance? Right? So Human Finance is the first PayFi, which PayFi itself, I should put PayFi on here. So Human Finance is the first PayFi network powering the finances of global payments with instant access to liquidity anywhere, aka blockchain loans. Listen to me again. Human Finance, blockchain loans. Human Finance enables global payment institutions to settle their payments 24/7 using stable coins and liquidity on chain. It powers settlements for a range of PayFi use cases such as cross-border transactions, credit cards, trade finance, and enables novel solutions like DPEN finance, which we just saw my boy Coin Bureau talking about DPEN. So then they give you similar coins that you could tap in, right? But this is important. I think I'm gonna go to the website. Let's look at the finance holders. So we got 28,000 holders right now. 28,000 holders of Human Finance. 72 market cap. We see the dip, when the crash, you know what I'm saying? When it crashed, it crashed. Ain't nothing niggas wanna do about it. But it rebounded, bro. It rebounded. And now we solid. So we got people holding Humor, right? And you're gonna have to hold Humor anyway because, like I said, it's a financial. I'm gonna go to the website so you can maybe see the ecosystem behind it. But if they are giving out loans, you're gonna probably get paid back or have to do all the transactions in their token. It's gonna make the token. It's gonna make the token cost. So Bim, you can look at the treasury. Like I said, this right here. You can't get no better than this. Bam. So we look at what's in the treasury. Private sale investors, economic incentives. We got liquidity provisions, and we got 70. So what's locked away and what's unlocked? So we got 78% of the total token supply is locked. So it's only circulating supply of 2.1 billion. So the circuit, so that's sweet. I actually fuck with that. But why are these tokens locked? Are these tokens locked based due to the fact that that's loan money? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I got to get into it a little bit more. But I'm liking human finance. They're a new thing. Now they're only available now on Bybit. Now you can take this information as for what you want. They're only available on Bybit, Binance, Gate, and KuCoin, all of which you can leverage them, right? So what I'm saying that for is very simple, right? So nigga like me, I'm on humor, right? Look at that. So somebody's trading this, somebody's showing the trade right now. You can see candlesticks. You see candlesticks, right? Them look like nice handsome candlesticks, don't you see? We going from about, nothing crazy. Just probably range from like 2 cent to 3 cent. Nothing crazy, right? But it's crazy when you see it's a trader's market. I'm about to make a killing off human finance. Okay? This why. They on more spot exchanges. Hold up. They on BitGet too? Yeah, they on BitGet, KuCoin, Bybit. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Niggas getting swift. Stop playing with them. I know I'm about to come in. So now we got look at the price tag of it, right? It's 2 cent right now. Right? 2 cent. So let's say 2 cent, nigga, on leverage, nigga, you can get so much. You can get like you can have 50. You can get like 50. First of all, $20. I mean, yeah, $20 will get you 100, right? $200, you got 1,000. So if you put $200 in your account and you just wanted human finance, you could get 1,000 human finance. But if you wanted to put margin on that 200, and let's say you wanted to turn that 200 to 1,000, and you wanted to put $1,000 of leverage on human finance, now instead of having only 1,000 of the human, now you looking at 50,000. You sitting there with 50,000 human finance tokens, and you only got $200 in your account. And you take that 50,000 human, and that 50,000 move a penny. I think you could trade that just off a penny a day. What's that? Let me do the math on that. 50,000 times a penny. That ain't bad. I could trade on that. What's that? 50,000 times a penny. Yeah, I could do that. That's when it becomes a trader's market. So that's why that leverage is important. Because you can leverage some shit. Motherfucker, shit don't even move a penny. Shit'll move a penny and a half. 3 pennies. You done hit they half for 400. You know what I'm saying? So I got my eyes on humor. Let me see if I can go to the website. Bam. I can't even access the network because U.S. customers are blocked because you can get a loan from them. So because U.S. customers are blocked, if I don't put a VPN on, I can't even click on this website right now. But you see it. Stack humor. That's what they're telling you to do. Stack humor. Let me see how they do it. So you catch you a loan based off of yield. They're using Jupiter. Oh yeah, all of these. What's up, baby? You trying to show me something? All right, hold on. In regards to what this? The avos. Oh, all right, hold on. So Humor 2.0, permissionless DeFi yield, powered by real-world payment flows. DeFi on Solana. Again, in order to use this in the US, you'll probably have to be on a VPN. Ain't no probably, you got to be on a VPN. But I don't advocate. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling no nigga to get on a VPN and then get on a website they can't get on. That's illegal. So I can't tell you to do that. You get what I'm saying? But the total transaction volume, look at that, 9.1 billion. They moving money over there, man. The total transaction volume, 9.1 billion. Total active liquidity, $147 million is actively liquidity in the market, right over there in the ecosystem. So you can see how they got it all how they got it layered up. You see the financial layer being human, right? Then you got the custody transaction. You can see they got it all stacked up for you. The Pi-Fi stack delivers a modular 6-layer framework to accelerate the payments. Look at this. All right, cross-border payment financing. This is important. This is what I'm saying. This shit is gonna be crucial in Africa. This shit is gonna be crucial with these, especially a lot like, bro. If I just didn't I just show you Maduro? They said Maduro was doing oil transactions in Tether and taking this shit and putting it over in Bitcoin. So imagine niggas that's on the underhand tip. Imagine somebody on the up and up. They doing it by the book. Man, they go ahead, they gonna put their money right where it need to be. Hey man, we're gonna do this cross border payment with human, man. They got quick transactions, low fees, stable economy. That's gonna stabilize shit overnight. Everybody ain't got access to a bank, but not everybody, but more people got access to a phone than they do to a bank. But if your phone becomes a bank, the game is over with. Now you can use your phone until you get to the bank. And they don't want it to be that way, man. They want to keep the grid locked how it is. So they keep extracting resources how they've been doing it. Right? Institutionally ready same-day settlements. Eliminates capital inefficiency and accelerates financial operations. You ain't gotta wait for these institutions to wake up in the morning or go to sleep and come back online in the business day. We ain't gotta do that. All right. Modernize how suppliers get paid with faster settlements, less friction. And you unlock capital for DePIN networks with innovative financing solutions built for new era framework. All right, so like I said, this right here, human finance. Let me see what they backed by. Distributed Global, Circle, Hard Yaka, 500 emerging Europe. They got the Blockchain Founders Fund. Willie, stop rocking back on that chair, fam. Willie, chill out. Relax. Calm down. Why don't you come on up off that chair? Come on up off that chair, fam. Finn. Where are the penguins? Where are the penguins? Where I put them at last time? No, they're in the where I put them at last time. So, bam, that's everybody that's associated with them. Right? So I like humor. Keep tabs on. Another way you keep tabs on them You run down on they Twitter, right? You run down on their Twitter page. Bam, we run down on their Twitter page. See what their Twitter page looking like. Long as their Twitter page looking organic, which it does. Looks like they still active in the market, which they are. Like I said, I'm already knowing that, but I'm just giving you tips and shit like that. Like when I'm looking at it. Look, and they mentioned it too. Look, the Wyoming Stablecoin Token Commission, first stablecoin issued by a U.S. state, now live on Solana. Like, so they reposted that. So yeah, if you got a active social media, you got active liquidity, you got a real product, real use case. That's investment. That's investment worthy. So you just gave some. Oh my God, he dedicated. That boy dedicated. So that's humor, right? Let me get off humor. Let me show you something else. I like humor though. That's a real low cap gem. When I say a low cap gem, low cap as in the market cap super low. That's a low cap gem for sure. You better be careful with that one though. That one's super down, super low. Right? But it's got a lot of use case. Let me give you something that's a little bit more. Jupiter. Now Jupiter is one of my favorites. Jupiter and or what's the shit? Ondo, right? Ondo and Jupiter. I'm gonna go Jupiter first. So as you can see, the year to date, we in a bear market, so don't trip about the red. That's a discount. When you see the red, just think discount. That's a tag. That's a clearance tag. These motherfuckers on clearance right now. These motherfuckers on clearance right now. So she launched right at the peak of the AI bubble. Right? Because the AI bubble was from 2023 to 2024 for real, was the peak of the AI bubble. So they peaked at, what was that, $1.50 during the AI bubble, which was small. And it led us into the correction. So it's been corrected, right? It's overcorrected, I would say. It's down 75%. Down 75%. But what is it, right? So I'm keeping my eyes on everything. So what is it? So Jupiter stands out as a pivotal player in decentralized finance landscape. What they do, Nat, what they do. Yeah, ain't no pressure. Yeah, this a little impromptu live. I really was trying out my new setup, but I gotta fix a whole lot of shit. I gotta fix the megapixels. Really ain't a whole lot of shit. I gotta fix the megapixels, and I gotta fix how long the chat stay up. Cause I can see the chat on the screen, but then it'll disappear. Like I gotta adjust. I gotta get them right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get it right. But yeah, I just was trying some shit. Uh, and I want to drop some low cap gems on Solana. I've been tapped in with Solana. A nigga been looking at it. They say it was gonna eclipse Ethereum, so that made a nigga do some more deep diving. And I'm just pulling out some gems. I'm trying to find, you know what I mean, some shit that the nigga could trade on and accumulate. So this one is in the blockchain. It's a super app. It offers swaps, perpetuals, low DCA, mobile native trading, portfolios, and they're coming with the lending. Right? So what is Jupiter? So Jupiter stands for a cryptocurrency decentralized exchange platform built on Solana. Renowned for its advanced swap aggregation engine, Jupiter provides its essential liquidity infrastructure, making it a cornerstone in the Solana ecosystem. That's important, right, to understand. So Jupiter has what's called a liquidity pool, right? A liquidity pool is exactly what it sounds like. It's a pool of money. So they backstop a lot of the production and a lot of the development on the ecosystem of Solana. So them being down 75% don't matter because we're in a bear market. 75% of the market is down. If Bitcoin didn't have that irregular all-time high during the AI bubble, Bitcoin would have been down 75%. Because every bear market, Bitcoin recorrects. And it'll be down. Last time it was down, like we was down like 80% before it popped off. We was down like, I want to say 85% before we got cracking. So, and then it rallied to all-time highs. Because again, this is when we're in the bear market, that's when people is not worried about it the most. But when we got institutional money coming in and we got traders that's recognizing and getting money every day on the trades, they're only growing, you know what I mean, the awareness, growing the FOMO and growing the hype around it. Well, the hype will lead into the FOMO. So when the shit catch wind, late 2026, which I'm saying 26, I'm saying like late summer and going into 27, really probably the spring of 27, it'll probably be niggas will be feeling like, damn, I missed out. I should have got in. Right? But so it backstops a lot of that stuff, and they're labeling it right here on CoinMarketCap, the cornerstone uh Solana ecosystem. The platform's versatility is showcased through its diverse DeFi products. Again, they got limit orders, they got dollar cost averaging, time weighted average prices, bridge, which means just basically like going from token to token. You can go from blockchain to blockchain, and perpetuals trading. So you can get on that bitch and you could trade basically a derivative of a stock on a decentralized exchange, and it's gonna be moving at the same rate with real-time market data. Jupiter Decentralized Exchange Aggregator facilitates seamless token swapping, allowing users to execute trades effectively. The platform also supports limit orders, enabling traders to set specific price points for buying and selling assets. This feature is particularly beneficial for those looking for optimizing their trading strategies without constant market monitoring. Again, DeFi, taking traditional financial instruments and traditional financial markets and putting them on chain. This is the wave. The ones that executed the best are the ones who are funded. The ones who got the most money being used and traded is the ones who get funded. Right? What's the technology behind it? Let's go all the way. So the technology is a fascinating blend of advanced blockchain mechanics and innovative financial tools. At its core, it operates as a decentralized exchange aggregator for the Solana blockchain, a high-performance blockchain known for speed and low transactions. This foundation allows Jupiter to offer optimized token swaps, making it crucial for the Solana ecosystem. Right? People go over there, you swap this for this. It's holding liquidity. Like I said, it's a liquidity pool. The security is another critical aspect. Solana employs proof of history, right? I was talking to a nigga and I was trying to tell him, I was like, it's a difference between proof of work, proof of stake, and I was telling him it's a third one, right? And the nigga was arguing me down on the panel. Oh no, you mean proof of stake? No, nigga, I don't. I already said proof of stake. I said it's two different. It's proof of stake, it's proof of work, and there's a third one, proof of history. Right? Proof of history works in tandem with POS. So this combination ensures that transactions are processed quickly and securely, making it difficult for bad actors to manipulate the system. That's why I fuck with Solana, right? Jupiter also offers a range of DeFi products that enhances the utility and appeal, such as limit orders, which allow users to be specific in the conditions of their trade, dollar cost averaging, right, which helps users to mitigate risks and shit like that, and market volatility. Additionally, Jupiter's bridge enables users to find the most efficient route to transfer assets. That's huge, right? You don't want to spend all those gas fees, right? That's what people say. Oh, I don't want to. If I'm gonna transfer my Ethereum to my Bitcoin, I don't want to spend $80 trying to do that. Well, the liquidity pool helps that with um low fees. The bridge helps that with low fees, right? And allows you to bridge your tokens to a whole different network. Like I said, I'll be getting into the weeds if I explain bridging all the way for real. Before bridging, we had to use use layers on the same. Like I said, I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna do all that. Stands out as a versatile cryptocurrency for several real-world applications. Premier swap aggregator engine provides essential liquidity infrastructure, making it a cornerstone of DeFi activities. One of those is decentralized trading. By aggregating liquidity from various sources, Jupiter enables seamless, efficient trading of assets across different platforms. This is particularly beneficial for users looking to execute trades without the need for a centralized exchange. Jupiter also plays a significant role in governance. Token holders can participate in decision-making processes, influencing the future and development of the direction of the platform. This decentralized approach ensures that the community has a voice and the platform evolves in a way that is beneficial to its users. Again, this is left-wing market socialist at its core, right? So when a nigga telling me, oh, how you with Bitcoin and all of this and this, and you saying you a leftist and this is what I'm talking about. We not a centralized finance dude. We not a centralized exchange type nigga. Everything I'm ever gonna advocate for is gonna be decentralized and autonomous. That's all I'm gonna advocate for. I fuck with ZK rollups and all of that, and I fuck with Maduro, uh, the Komodo, all of these different coins that are based around anonymity. That's cool. I'm rocking with that. Decentralization, I'm rocking with that. You know what I'm saying? Right there, right there, community. What are they talking about? Co-ops, future development, having a stake in it, right? Based upon your token holdings, right? That's still implementing forms of capitalism, but it's not this shit these niggas doing, bro. Like I said, it's been coined market socialism. I like to look at it as like a hybrid government, a socio-democratic government. That's why it's hybridized like that. It makes the most sense to take the best of both worlds. Like what is niggas talking about? It ain't no if or you know what I'm saying? A wholesome game, I don't play those. Let me see what I got. Jupiter, I think I got so yeah, I fuck with Jupiter. Like I said, it's the backstop to a lot of the liquidity on there for the traders and everything. So what we got? All right, the top holders. Yep, that's that liquidity, boy. That shit going up. Top holders hold top 10% or top 10 holders hold 72% for that. That's like I said, that's the liquidity pool that we're talking about. Let me see the market cap on that bit. 854,000 holders. Jeez Louise. Only 47% of the tokens are unlocked. Teams got 20% of the tokens. The strategic reserves got 19% of the tokens. The community reserves got 14% of the tokens. The liquidity pool fee gets 1.43% of the tokens to pay out the fees. The DAO funding is 1.43, probably to pay the DAO members. And Mercurial holders, 5%. That's niggas that stand down. See, it's important to look at all of this, man. Don't be afraid to look into the weeds. And this is why, like, bro, I be doing this type of shit. I don't have time to be arguing with this nigga Nadi about the 14th Amendment, bro. When I know for a fact I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm trying to catch the new wave. I'm trying to catch the next one. I'm not trying to grab the wrong one because I'm skipping steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tie all this shit together. Let me get back to the top real quick. So it's got a 682 market cap right now, 682 million. So I can see that 10x in two. I can see the market cap of this being somewhere around 6 billion. So if we get the market cap 6 billion, that means a lot of people are gonna be getting loans. A lot of people are gonna be doing trades on Solana. I can see a $2 Jupiter. And niggas that get in at 20 cent, that's a great play for them. Right? I'm gonna trade that. I'm gonna trade that all the way. Let me give you another gem. Some a little bit more mainstream. Again, you see, the first one I gave was super duper in the can. This one is market cap is 78. The last one I gave you was in the thousands. Right? I'm going with low cap gems, but I'm getting closer and closer to a name brand gem for you. Which the name brand gem is Solana. But I'm getting closer and closer and higher up the food chain. All of these on the list I fuck with, just to say the least. Render token, that's my baby. I'm talking about that's my baby. Okay. Render and injective protocol, these two right here, they got a special place in my heart. You hear me? Special place. Canton is an interesting one. I got to do more research on. Matter of fact, let me look at this right now. Canton is literally on the watch list because I want to get some. I don't have any, but it's on my watch list. Top 25 coin. This is from all time. So it only got cracked. It just recently got cracking. Right? Just recently got cracking. Canton CC, right? 5 billion already in the market cap. You new to the game, you got 5 billion, that means the institution blessed you. That means you already in the game. That means niggas need to lock in. You see what I just showed you? 5 billion right there. So we seeing a 10x or we see a 3x. Motherfucker, we see a 3x. Nah, I don't like 3x. I like 10s. You know what I'm saying? I can see a 10 though. But a 10x, that's a $50 billion market cap. What would make Canton a $50 billion market cap thing? 50 billion is not a lot in market cap, by the way, in a bear market. I mean, in a bull market. 50 billion is not a lot. The market cap for Ethereum right now is like 400 and something million, 400 something billion, right? Bitcoin itself, I think, got $1 trillion market cap. Like 50 billion ain't really much. So I can see it getting to 50 Bs. We just talking about that in the next bull run. I'm not even talking about long term. Once all the money is on chain, niggas gonna be pissed off they wasn't in this shit. I'm just talking about when I'm giving price predictions and you know, what I'm forecasting. I'm just talking about like in the next run. But what niggas is gonna be pissed once all this money come on chain. Once all that Angolan money come on chain. Once all them real world assets come on chain. I already showed an article a couple days ago about the Timber coin. Timber on chain. They bringing Timber on chain. Raising capital. South America. Right now. Canton Exchange. Let me see what we got. JP Morgan. To expand the JP Morgan coin on the Canton network. Oh, they just dropped that 5 hours ago. JP Morgan expands blockchain payment strategy with the JPM coin on Canton. That's good. See what I'm saying? I got to get me some Canton, bro. JP Morgan and them, what they doing over there? Pioneering regulated digital cash. What they doing over there? Willie, no. You gonna get some fruit, fam. I'm about to play a video so we can get you some fruit. We'll get you a fruit bowl, fam. We're not doing that. Let's go to the about. So the Canton network is a layer 1 smart contract blockchain with configurable privacy and controls solving for public network adoption of real world assets and traditional financial institutions. Oh, that's why. Listen, man, that's why I already got 5 billion just came in the game. This is like I said, this is an industry plant right here. Oh, I got to get in on this. This is an industry plant. Ooh, wait. They came in the game just for RWAs and TradFi institutions, real world assets and traditional financial institutions. That means BlackRock gonna put some money on it. That means everybody putting money on it. Yeah, we fucking with this. We fucking with Canton. That means they gonna not only put money on it, they're gonna be building on this. We just seen JP Morgan is choosing to build JP Morgan coin on this network, which is a layer 1. Okay. And it's a configurable privacy. It's got configurable privacy. So that would mean they could turn on and off being able to track the contract, I think. So they probably will have permissionless transactions that's got anonymity behind it, but they'll be able to see the back end of it, but they'll advertise to you like it's untraceable. But they can still show the government where you got and spent your money from. This exact shit that niggas need to run the bank. This is what I'm saying. This right here, they setting up this play. I'm seeing it. Canton Coin is a utility token used to pay application and infrastructure fees on the global synchronizer, as well as the incentives and reward network stakeholders. Okay, bet. Who are the founders? That's a good question. Canton Network and Global Synchronization Foundation were launched by a range of institutions across traditional finance and crypto. The Global Synchronization Foundation is managed by Linux Foundation members including Seven Ridge, Bitwave, Broadridge, Calastone, Cumberland, Digital Asset, Equalin, Euroclear, Global Blockchain Business Council, Intellectual EU, Kaleido, Lindos, Liberty City Ventures, which I've heard of them, MPCH, Obsidian Systems, SBI, I've heard of that, SBI Digital Asset Holdings, Taurus, Tradewell. Digital Asset, the company that developed the Canton blockchain protocol and its DAMI smart contract language, was founded by Don Wilson. Okay, bam. All right, so they got their own language. That's interesting. So they kind of going in that route. Okay, I'm gonna keep tabs on Canton though. They sound like an institution play that's backed by institutional money. That's what that's looking like. And so with a market cap like 5 billion, the max supply they don't even talk about is they're gonna be able to print it. Like I said, this is government all over it. Circulating supply 37 billion. This is this is bank coin shit, right? This is bank coin shit. So that Canton, I can see Canton being a place where a lot of banks go to settle transactions. They might have to compete with Solana though, because as you can see, Solana already got traction. But Canton is in the top 25. Gotta make that mention. They are in the top 25. So that's a crazy jump, right? World Liberty Financial, which I ain't gonna go into them right now. Let's go to Solana. Solana is so far. When I be looking at these, I'm looking at where things could go as far as if all the regulatory framework is lined up and everything starts rushing on chain, what's gonna happen if all these industries or if X, Y, and Z industries come on chain? How much money is hitting the crypto market? It's trillions on trillions on trillions that's still not on chain right now. So the only way we grow is by mass adoption. Mass adoption is coming regardless. It's just about niggas being in on the right things. Mass adoption is coming regardless. So what we got? 138 for Solana. Right? Nice healthy chart. Nice healthy chart. Let's get the candles on it. Nice healthy chart. That's a nice little range too, don't you think? Not on the hour tip. Let's on the. I'm talking about on the. Yeah, that's a nice little range, don't you think? Look at me that. Look at that. From 24 to 138. Yeah, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. Yep, she's right where I need her to be. I mean, I would like it to be, you know what I mean, really in this range right here would have been sweet if I would have caught her right here, but I don't think she's coming back. I got some at that range, but I don't think I can load up anymore at that range. So I'm trading Solana to try to accumulate Solana. It's the number 6 market cap right now, all of crypto. I'm trying to accumulate as much as I can, so I'm trading it. 78 billion on the market cap right now. Now I see this absolutely 10xing because Binance, look, $780 billion. Imagine a $780 billion market cap, a 10x. Imagine $1,000 Solana. Oh my God, let's go. I'm getting, ooh, just thinking about it, I'm excited, nigga. A 10x from here is all the way in the cards. It's just about institutional adoption. Right now we got 3.11. We got 3.11 in the market. That bitch go up to 5. It's over. Let's see how much. Let's look at Ethereum. All right, 376 billion right now in liquidity. I mean in market cap, not in liquidity. My bad. Bitcoin 1.8 trillion market cap. 1.8 trillion market cap. That's a lot of governments holding it. That's Maduro. That's Sailor. We just showed you that, right? Which article was that? Not the digital asset one. I'm gonna come back to that one. I said that. That's this one, right? What they showed you: BlackRock, Maduro and them from Venezuela, Strategy, Michael Saylor's company, Satoshi Nakamoto. All them niggas gonna make sure. They all gonna make sure. They gonna make for shit show that market cap stay up there. That's Ethereum was 376. What about Binance? Let me see Binance. 122 Bs. 122 Bs. So you see Binance is up there. 122 Bs. Right? That's not bad. That's not bad. So even if so, just a slight double for Solana would catch BNB in market cap, and we would be looking at a $260 Solana. We've already seen a $260 Solana, so which is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Right? These market caps, we've already seen them. Let me see if I can just do market cap instead of price here. Let me do that. So when you go by market cap, you can see what I'm saying. So look, so bam, this ain't nothing on the market cap from what it was already at. This ain't nothing. This is bear market shit, right? Look at the bull though. feel me? So because we've been in a bear market and the chart's been bleeding, niggas have forgot how much of a market cap we really lost. Nigga, at the peak, we was looking at 130, 140, 150. What was this right here? Yeah, 140. We was looking, we was pressing 150 for a market cap. Right? We was pressing 150 on a market cap tip. So if she just shake back, I don't know, just back to her rare form, 150, we looking at a 200 and, you know what I'm saying, $215 Solana, $230 Solana. Which, like I said, I see very, very, very clearly that that's going to be the case. A $220 Solana is going to be the minimum. That's going to be, once it gets back up to 220, that's going to put the institution, I mean, that's going to put the regular traders in thought process of, damn, I need to get in. And it's going to cause that FOMO right at about the 200 mark. Everything else going to be cracking. Right? Everything else going to be cracking. What else we got? Let me see. We're going to look at market cap. Let's look at Cardano market cap. It's a top 10, but she dropped a lot. Market cap, how much did she ever get? She never had more than, what was this? Never had more than 44 Bs, 46 Bs. Cardano might be dead, low key. I don't think it's gonna die though. It got a strong community. It's got a strong community. That's a long ass flag, boy. Long ass flag, boy. But they got a strong community over there. It's so weird. Like when you look at the charts compared to what be going on, it's so many people that's built on Solana. I mean on Cardano. It's like the two, okay, it's three, I'll say it's three like non-mainstream cryptos that got bigger communities than the mainstreams. Or maybe not bigger, but they got more enthusiastic people. But maybe I think the people with bigger wallets probably is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But it's more people that's over there in Binance, over on Ethereum. I mean, over on Cardano and over on Solana. It really is. It really is interesting, right? So it's like you gotta hedge your bets, low key. Cardano, 24 hours. What this been looking like? Market cap done dropped. Yeah, so we can see it a little bit better from here. So yeah, when we get some liquidity back in the market, these is starting blocks, right? 32 billion, that's the starting block. Once the institutional money comes flushing back in, all of these blue chip projects that aren't going anywhere, like Cardano, which has been around for 6-7 years, all these other ones that's been around, that's building, they got real use case. When the market starts flooding back in with money, and you start seeing shit that used to be worth 32 billion go being back to worth 32 billion, you're gonna see it. That's a quick little $1.80 for Cardano. Let me give you another one. I like Near Protocol is a good one. Ondo is one I got my eyes on. Ondo is one I got my eyes on, bro. So what we got here is $1.29 billion market cap. Made in America. Ondo Finance. Look at this. SEI Network warns of critical transition for USDC holders. I'm going to read that in a second. Solana emerges as the top blockchain for tokenized stocks. Look at that. Ondo is built on Solana. That's another thing that makes the make or break these tokens. So if a bunch of apps or a bunch of tokens are legitimate and they're making good products and they got real communities built around them, that also fuels the underlying asset. That's why Ethereum is so big. That's why Bitcoin is so big, because of the shit that's being built on it, the money that's being spent on it. So with tokenized stocks being a new thing, and Solana being a leader in that, that's only gonna bring more people who are like, you know what I mean, and go with the flow types, or that go with the crowd types. They're gonna go with the crowd. It's gonna bring more, right? So what they got. So and then so a coin that's benefiting from its ecosystem would be a coin like Solana, a coin like Binance. Binance got so many projects popping up on it, so many coins being created on it, so many people using its technology, that the underlying asset is gonna get purchased because it's got to be transacted with. You got to purchase this asset to trade it to get your one that you want. You can't buy Ondo straight up. You got to go get you some Solana. You got to get on the Solana wallet. You got to get you a Phantom wallet that runs on Solana in order to be able to grab this stuff. Like, the ecosystems are built out to where the top pays down. Let me see what we got. Somebody drawing. So what they drawing over there? Okay, they got a lot of set up in the foundation to the DAO. A lot of tokens is to the DAO. So you gotta watch how they governance, learn how they governance. 177,000 holders. The top 10% hold 74. We just read it. Why? It's because it's a lot of those people are in the DAO. So the token holders are entrusted with shaping the future of the Ondo DAO. Okay, perfect. That makes sense. So yeah, that's why they say the DAO got all the tokens. All right, so that's a bet. So what is Ondo, right? Let's get into it. Ondo is a beacon in the realm of decentralized finance, aiming to democratize access to institutional grade financial services. Founded and based in the Cayman Islands, which y'all take that with what you want, Ondo operates through a unique ecosystem that bridges traditional finance with blockchain. Ondo Foundation collaborates closely with Ondo Finance, its commercial partner, to support decentralized protocols and tokenizing of real-world assets. The Ondo token, sold to over 18,000 individuals in mid-2022, plays a pivotal role within this ecosystem. It serves. Oh, so they did the initial coin offering. Okay, that's a bit. It serves as a governance token within the Ondo Finance decentralized autonomous organization, granting holders specific rights within the ecosystem. Okay. What's the technology behind it? They're gonna say it's blockchain with financial democratization. Ondo operates as a decentralized finance platform that leverages blockchain technology to tokenize real-world assets. I'm banking on real-world assets and tokenized stocks. I'm banking on AI. I'm banking on DeFi. This is what I'm banking on when I'm making my plays. So I'm finna play this. What I got? Let me see what I got over here in the top. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let I can't even say this motherfucking name. I'm gonna let Coin Bureau, my nigga CB. I'm gonna let my nigga CB finish, and then I'm gonna play. I got a video. I'm gonna play again.
The largest ones is Pepe. Now, in retrospect, this is probably because the Pepe meme coin is apparently associated with figures like Donald Trump, who is very pro-crypto. In other words, the Pepe meme coin fell into a narrative that many new investors could understand. Similarly, in the case of AI agents, one of the largest ones is AIXBT. This is probably because AIXBT is an AI agent crypto influencer. Again, a narrative that that many investors in crypto can understand. But why did the main niche become meme coins, and why did it then shift to AI agents? Well, from our perspective, there were two reasons. The first was that the main participants in the crypto market last year were experienced retail investors and crypto whales. These are the main cohorts of investors that have the kind of experience to go all the way down the risk curve to find these cryptos. The second reason ties into the first, and that's that AI agents were conceptually similar to meme coins. The only real difference was that meme coins gave experienced crypto investors the sense that AI agents were somehow more legit than meme coins, when most were actually no different from meme coins. Most were just, at best, a chatbot with a meme coin attached. This underscores the importance of narratives in crypto investing and highlights the fact that the rotation between crypto niches and narratives depends on the types of investors that are involved in the market at a given time. Again, in 2024, this was primarily experienced crypto retail investors and crypto whales. As the bull market progresses, however, we're going to see new retail investors arrive to the crypto market who don't know how to use platforms like, say, Virtuals Protocol and Pump.fun. Meanwhile, changes to crypto regulations in the US and elsewhere will also make it easier for new institutional investors to get more involved. All of this means that the niches that are likely to become big in the coming months and the narratives in those niches are likely to be different from what we've seen over the last year. Now, it goes without saying that it's not easy to figure out which these will be, which is exactly why we created the Coin Bureau Club. Now, the Coin Bureau Club is where we share our research about the next crypto niches that could become big and investigate the cryptos from these niches that have the strongest narratives. We do this with the help of our members, who also get to see our full crypto portfolios and the cryptos on our watch lists. So if you want to become a member of the Coin Bureau Club, then just check out the link in the description below. So, to recap, at the highest level, there are two categories of cryptocurrency: coins and tokens. At the mid-level, we have crypto niches like GameFi, DeFi, etc. At the lowest level, we have crypto narratives. Now, the crypto market rotates between niches. The niches the crypto market rotates to depends on the investors involved, and the cryptos with the strongest narratives in those niches pump the most. And this is where things get exciting, because we can finally start looking for those 100x returns. Now, for starters, you should know that if you're reading or hearing about some hot crypto niche or narrative, then there's a high chance you're already too late. By the time it gets popular, most of the gains have already been made. To be clear, this doesn't mean that the cryptos that are popular aren't going to pump more. Depending on broader crypto market conditions, there's a good chance they could keep pumping. But again, most of the gains have already been made. So, if you're looking for life-changing returns, you probably won't find them there. As we've noted in our other videos, the secret to success in crypto is to ignore what's happening now and constantly ask yourself what comes next. As we've learned, this means trying to figure out which niches will be next to get big and identifying the cryptos with the strongest narratives in these next niches. How to look for these cryptos is surprisingly straightforward. Suppose you believe that GameFi, gaming finance, competition to existing games and gaming studios, is going to be the next big crypto niche. All you need to do is find a list of GameFi cryptos on a website like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. Then go down that list and look at which ones have the strongest narratives. Chances are that you'll come across some that are competitors to popular gaming studios, others that are competitors to popular games, and even a few that are, to all intents and purposes, copies of popular games. Now, once you've got a list of a few promising-looking cryptos, then take note of four things: the price tag, the market cap, the circulating supply, and which exchanges the crypto in question is listed on. Ideally, the price tag will be low, the market cap will be small, most of the supply will be in circulation, and the crypto will be listed on lots of exchanges. So, if it ticks every box, chances are that you've found a possible candidate for a 100x crypto. That's because most crypto investors look at the price tag when trying to assess how big a crypto could get, when it's really the market cap that determines this. The smaller the market cap, the bigger the gains you could get. At the same time, you want to make sure that most of the supply is in circulation, because if it's not, it typically means that insiders are still waiting to sell, and if you buy, chances are you'll be buying their bags. The exchange listing criteria, meanwhile, is also pretty logical. You want to make sure the crypto in question is accessible to lots of investors. So, as a rule of thumb, a market cap of under $100 million is a small market cap, $100 million to $1 billion is a mid-sized market cap, and $1 billion plus is a large market cap. A smaller market cap means bigger potential gains, but also higher risks. So if you're a conservative investor, then stick to the larger cap cryptos you found. If you are a high-risk investor and you find a crypto that isn't listed on many exchanges, then don't worry. Most cryptos will list on more exchanges during a bull market if there's lots of trading volume. And if it has a strong narrative, then the chances are there will be lots of trading volume. And pro tip, check to see if any exchanges themselves invested in the cryptos you're interested in. If they have, then they will probably list those cryptos eventually. And I'll again remind you, if you don't have an account on an exchange yet, then there are massive bonuses and trading fee discounts waiting for you on the Coin Bureau deals page. QR code right here or deals page below. So then, to recap, you can use websites like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko to find the cryptos that fall under each niche. Then go down the list and find the cryptos with the strongest narratives. When you've found a few, identify the ones with low price tags, small market caps, supply mostly in circulation, and lots of exchange listings. High returns are not guaranteed, but if all those boxes above are ticked, you're certainly off to a good start. All that's left then is to keep a few very important things in mind. The first is that when you keep a crypto on an exchange, it technically doesn't belong to you. Besides the fact that this creates a risk that your crypto could be frozen by the exchange for, well, whatever reason, you could also lose your crypto if the exchange goes under. That's why it's of paramount importance that you keep any crypto that you're not actively trading in your own personal wallet. And you can refer to our recent video about the top crypto wallets for 2025 if you're having
So like he said, you know, you got to tap in on that market cap. The lower the market cap, the more room for growth. But it's also dangerous to just sprinkle $1 billion into a low market cap. You know what I mean? You gotta do the research, like he said. So, and knowing I gotta do the research, like I said, I can't be hitting on half my cylinders because I'm watching and looking up shit about the 14th Amendment, or I'm Googling Abraham Lincoln pictures and shit like that. I'm not doing that no more. I literally have way more important things that I'm focusing on. Way more important shit. Shit that actually, you know what I'm saying, you can win and lose behind. And not only that, shit that actually a nigga give a fuck about. I don't even care about that shit. I care about this shit I'm on right here. All right. Let me see what else I got. Damn, that's crazy. What did I get? I went through under. I went through humor. I went through the CIA in Angola. I went through Solana phone. Went through the stable coin on Wyoming running on Solana. I went through all of that. I guess I can go CIA for the last video.
Most St. Johns County homeowners do this wrong when they sell their homes and lose tens of thousands.
Malcolm X called him the greatest black man who ever walked the African continent. To his supporters, he was a fearless revolutionary, a leader who dared to stand up to colonial powers and demand true independence for his people. But to his enemies, both within and outside of Congo, he was a threat that needed to be eliminated. On a cold January night in 1961, deep in the Congolese wilderness, gunshots echoed through the trees. The next morning, the people of Congo woke up to the news that would shake their country and the African continent to its core. The elected leader of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Patrice Lumumba, was dead. The official version of events that took place on the 17th of January 1961 claimed that Lumumba had escaped custody and was subsequently killed by some villagers trying to recapture him. But the Congolese people, the United Nations, and many others across the world doubted this version. There were rumors that larger forces were at play, and that if Lumumba was allowed to succeed, it may change the face of Congo and the African continent forever. But it would be another 61 years before the truth came out, the truth I want to share in this story. Unlike many other conspiracy theories about mysterious disappearance of famous personalities, riddled in speculation, assumptions, unverified claims, this story is different. The death of Patrice Lumumba was not an accident, nor a consequence of some villagers trying to make a few dollars. So let me show you how, why, and who murdered Congo's first prime minister. This is the story of who killed Patrice Lumumba. This is Leopold II, the King of Belgium. Belgium in the late 1800s, unlike its European neighbors, was young, relatively small, and had no colonies. So Leopold approached Spain, France, and several other colonial empires to see if they'd be willing to sell some of their territories. But everyone turned him down. This is when he looked towards Africa. So in 1885, King Leopold II took control of Congo, calling it, ironically, the Congo Free State. The thing is, Leopold didn't conquer Congo for the Belgian state, but rather he controlled it privately as his personal fiefdom. What's even more strange is that he never personally stepped foot in Congo. Over the next 20 years, Leopold's rule was brutal. His actions led to the death of millions of Congolese people. In fact, his mass exploitation and forced labor got so bad that in 1908, he was ultimately forced to give up control of the Congo Free State to the Belgian government, who renamed the territory Belgian Congo. Unfortunately, despite the transfer of power from King Leopold II to the Belgian state, many of the same abuses continued. And it was under this backdrop, in 1925, that Patrice Lumumba was born. As a child, Patrice was intellectually curious and outspoken. Unlike many of his peers, he questioned why the white Belgians had all the power and Congolese were forced into low-wage jobs. He was a strong reader and writer, an unusual trait for Congolese children in the early 1900s. So during this time in Belgian Congo, the ruling whites had a policy of no elites, no problem. Unlike the British and French, who developed local elites to help administer their colonies, the Belgians deliberately kept Congolese people uneducated, politically powerless to maintain complete European control. The Belgian colonial administration limited Congolese people to primary education and restricted the establishment of universities. Local Congolese were never allowed to hold meaningful government positions and had no representation in the colonial administration. Even lower administrative positions were reserved exclusively for Europeans. This was true even in the military, or the Force Publique as it was called. In 1944, Patrice moved to Stanleyville to work as a postal clerk. On the side, he took corresponding courses in French and studied the works of Karl Marx, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and other anti-colonial thinkers. He wrote poetry, essays, journalistic articles, and was an exceptional and powerful speaker. Even Lumumba's biggest adversaries conceded that Lumumba's oration skills were a level above the rest. It's important to note that Lumumba, during his early days in Stanleyville, was far from revolutionary. Despite reading the works of revolutionaries, he was a pragmatist. In fact, he even went through the effort and humiliation of becoming an évalué. An évalué is a French word for evolved or civilized. They were considered model Africans who were westernized, adopted European customs, language, and behavior. The process of becoming an évalué was intrusive, evaluating every aspect of your life, your work, your family, your home. At the end of World War II, the évalué began growing in influence. So when in 1955 a Belgian professor proposed a 30-year gradual independence for Congo, there were mixed reactions. Patrice in particular was firmly against this and demanded immediate independence. Although he initially supported Belgian cooperation to improve the lives of Congolese people, this view gradually shifted. He was an evalué, but despite that, he was constantly disrespected by his white colleagues and underpaid at work. In 1956, Lumumba traveled to Belgium on an educational and diplomatic tour sponsored by the state. Lumumba and the other evalués were identified as pro-Belgian, well-spoken Congolese that could advocate for the Belgian civilizing mission in Congo. It was sort of a PR campaign. But it was also an attempt by the Belgians to fortify their loyalty with the evalués and discourage them to support any sort of radical independence. However, the trip had the reverse effect on Lumumba. He went from being a moderate, somewhat pro-Belgian evalué to becoming incredibly critical of the Belgian rule. The hypocrisy and deception of the Belgians, who really had no plan of granting independence, became incredibly clear on that trip. This was the turning point where Lumumba began speaking and advocating for political change across Congo. Later that year, Lumumba was jailed for 1 year accused of embezzling money from the post office. Now, this could be true, but some also believe that it was politically motivated as a way to silence him. It was during this time in jail where he was fully convinced that independence, and immediate independence, was the only way forward. Upon being released, Lumumba became a beer salesman, another job again reserved for evalués, traveling across the country, selling beer, of course, but also giving speeches, giving political speeches. In 1958, Lumumba founded the MNC Party, the first party that called for full national independence. In 1959, anti-colonial riots erupted in Leopoldville after the Belgian government refused to discuss full independence. But the Belgians knew that the end was near. They could no longer control the Congolese people, and the nationalist parties of Lumumba and others had gained massive support. In 1960, Belgium announced that Congo would become independent on the 30th of June, 1960. The shift from the 30-year gradual independence to this immediate independence was unexpected even for the nationalist leaders. But there was a method to this madness. We'll come back to that. Immediately after, Lumumba was elected as prime minister and Joseph Kasavubu as president of this newly formed Democratic Republic of Congo. The entire independence affair converged to a single moment. The official independence ceremony was attended by Belgian dignitaries, including King Baudouin. Baudouin, who was the great-nephew of King Leopold II, gave the opening speech, praising Belgium's colonial rule and glorifying King Leopold, completely ignoring the brutality the Congolese people had to endure. He stated how Belgium had civilized Congo and that this independence was a gift from Belgium to Congo, as opposed to some sort of hard-fought struggle. President Kasavubu followed with a polite response thanking the king and Belgium. The official program was over.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work. Want to be a part of it?
Patrice Lumumba took the stage and gave a speech that likely sealed his fate. Lumumba described the brutal Belgian rule, the oppression, forced labor, and racism. He declared independence not a gift from Belgium, but a victory through struggle. The speech was electrifying. The crowd erupted with cheers. Those who were not present listened to recordings afterwards. Lumumba's speech created a diplomatic crisis. The Belgians were not happy. The rapid granting of independence was likely a move by the Belgians to set up Congo for failure. Remember the policy of no elites, no problem? Well, because of that policy, there were quite literally no qualified Congolese to run the government. In 1960, there were about 20 Congolese in the entire world who had university degrees, 2 of which became part of the first Congo government. One area of particular concern was the military. Initially, Lumumba agreed for white Belgian officers to retain their post. But by the 5th of July 1960, only 6 days after he became prime minister, there was an uprising amongst the Congolese soldiers. This led to sexual violence and killing of white Belgians in Congo. In response, the Belgian government, without the approval of the Congolese government, deployed troops in Congo, further exacerbating the issue and violating the sovereignty of this new nation. Now, there was no doubt that these atrocities occurred against the white Belgians, but the propaganda that followed really gave the Belgian government the support from the public that they needed to continue their actions. To further complicate the issue, the mineral-rich province of Katanga, with the help of Belgium, had seceded from Congo. Although there was a tribal component to the secession, it was largely driven by the economic interests of Belgium, or more specifically, a Belgian mining company called UMHK. UMHK, extracting copper, cobalt, zinc, uranium, and tin from Katanga, made up nearly 50% of the market capitalization of the Brussels Stock Exchange. It was notoriously the company that provided much of the uranium for the Manhattan Project to create the atomic bomb in the 1940s. So naturally, after the independence, Belgians wanted to ensure that they retained access to the rich minerals in this province. As a result, the Belgian government secretly, or not so secretly, supported Dushanbe as the leader of the Katanga province by providing him with money and military resources. So the two issues facing the Congo's young prime minister was the uprising.
Everywhere you look, they're attacking left-wing radical socialist Negroes. Everywhere you look, they don't give a damn about you right-wing. Do whatever I want the white man to do ass niggas. Right? So keep shucking and jiving for MAGA. Keep acting like you not against something that you stand in opposition of. You're just working. You're just working for the white man for free. All right, but I'm not gonna be in all day long. I'm actually gonna get up out of this. Was an impromptu stream. I had to get some crypto gems off. I want to do some market talk. Drop some shit about Epstein. You know, speak on how the CIA continuously is trying to infiltrate African thought leaders and stopping the conversations amongst blacks and blacks on the continent. I'll probably go live again maybe next week. I'm gonna start going live again probably every day again next week. I'm gonna be doing it in my trading account. I'm gonna have my Tradeovate. Probably won't be doing live trades. I'll probably be talking about the trade I just made. I'm about to grow my 25K account. I'm gonna try to grow the 25K to 40, and then no, I'm gonna do it 10 at a time. I'm gonna go 25 to 35, 35 to 45. All right. After I get it there, then I hit my goal. I'm trying to grow a 25K account. I'm only doing $1,000 withdrawals. So I'm gonna try to do like 1,800 in between every withdrawal. Withdraw 1,000, keep 8 in, and I'm gonna try to grow the account like I said all the way up to like 45K. That's gonna be my new goal when I go live. And get ready for my debates that I got on these different platforms. I ain't arguing with niggas no more. Not going back and forth with niggas about shit that they don't know anymore. I got money to make. You know what I'm saying? I got money to manage. Not even make. I got money to manage and to grow. So I'm gonna fuck with y'all. Gotta stay swift to keep from getting swift. It's your boy Luck. Shout out to everybody who tapped in. But yeah, I'm gonna start going live again every day next week. Go through that trade debate, show niggas what's cracking, probably show nigga couple deposits, a couple withdrawals, so a nigga starts, you know what I'm saying, locking in. Cause right now it's just pie in the sky, nigga just talking. I'm finna get up out of